The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just trying to fit in the chair.
Good morning. Can you please introduce yourself to the members of the jury?
My name is Sergeant Zuleika Fernandez. I'm with Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office
And how long have you been with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office?
since 2006.
And is that formally known as the Miami-Dade Police Department?
Sorry?
Is that formally known as the Miami-Dade Police Department?
Yes.
It's the same department?
Yes.
Different names?
Yes.
What unit do you work in?
Currently,
Yes.
in the Kendall District, so I'm in uniform patrol at the moment.
Do you have a specialized role in the unit?
I'm a sergeant, so I'm the sergeant right now in Kendall District on midnights.
Do you work in video retrieval?
I did at one
Okay,
point,
you did.
yes.
Now I want to take you all the way back to June 25th of 2022. Did you work in that video retrieval unit then?
I did.
And what were your duties in that unit?
My duty was basically to respond whenever detectives from different bureaus would contact us to export video evidence for their case.
In order to be in that unit and to retrieve those things, do you get any kind of specialized training?
Yes.
Can you briefly explain to the members of the jury what that training is?
So I went to Dorothy Stout training. It's a 3-day course, which actually it teaches you how to export videos from different systems. And then we had LIBA, which is, there's 4 different LIBAs. I went to LIBA 1, and that one is a little bit more in depth. It actually shows you how to go into the hard drives in case that you're not able to actually export video the native way. So then you would basically go into the hard drive and try to get the video that way.
And would it be fair to say that based off the training that you get in the video retrieval unit, that you get specific trainings on different types of recording systems?
Different systems, completely NVR, DVR, cloud-based systems, any type of system.
Okay. Now, I know we kind of already mentioned this already, but were you working in your capacity as a police officer in that video retrieval unit on or about June 25th of 2022?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Were you working in your capacity as a police officer in the video retrieval unit on or about June 25th?
Yes.
What about to June 29th, 2022?
I was still within the video forensic unit.
Okay. Now, before we move on to those dates, can you explain to the jury the process of actual video retrieval?
So normally what we do is we actually document everything about the DVR, from the serial numbers to the cameras that the system actually holds, to the amount of cameras that are actually working at the time. If there is any offset, so if real time and offset do not match, we actually document that to show that even if we pull video for specific times, the reason we got that video at that time is because DVR time and real time were completely off. We document the earliest recording, so anything from if the incident occurred in May, but the actual DVR holds video until March. So you can go back all the way to March. We document the cameras and the actual times that the detectives request, and that's pretty much it.
And are you trained in the process of, let's say it doesn't work, if you're called out to a scene, it doesn't work there, are you trained in the process of, let's say, bringing it back to headquarters to retrieve it in a different way?
Yes, so if we're not able to export on scene, we obviously speak to the detectives first, let them decide. We'll let them know in that moment, hey, it's not working, we're not able to export on scene. However, we do have DVR examiner back in the office, so we could plug it straight into the hard drive and try that method.
Can you explain to the members of the jury what that DVR examiner is?
DVR examiner allows you to go into the hard drive and export the entire thing. So the entire data on the actual hard drive.
Now, does it work for every single unit, or are there sometimes failures?
No, there's definitely failures. A lot of times when you get hard drives, either they're already failing or they're corrupted. And if you plug it in, it's the same thing as a USB. A lot of the times they get damaged over time.
Now, on June 29th, 2022, did you respond to 1300 Northwest 15th Street?
Yes,
Why did you do that?
I was requested by homicide detectives to respond.
And do you know who the owner of that home was?
Personally, no, I don't.
But did you know his name?
Cisnero?
Is that a Robert Cisneros?
I'm not sure.
Is there anything that would refresh your
I
recollection?
could look at my report and see.
If you can, don't, just look up when you're done.
Yeah,
refresh your
Robert
memory.
Cisneros.
Great, thank you. Did you make contact with him?
I didn't, I made contact with the detectives were the ones making contact with him.
Okay. What, if anything, did you do after arriving on scene?
Once they allowed me to access the DVR, that's exactly what I did. I went straight to the DVR and I started working on trying to get the export.
Okay, did the homeowner give you consent or did you have to get a warrant to get that DVR?
I would have to look at my,
Please,
so it looks like it was verbal
verbal consent.
consent.
Okay. Now, can you explain to the members of the jury what DVR system Mr. Cisneros had?
So he had a Shield DVR, which is it's a regular CCTV system. It's not cloud-based, it's not MVR. There is no client, anything like that. It was just a basic DVR system.
Was it an older model, newer model, if you knew?
I wouldn't know that information.
Is this a model that you were familiar with?
Yes.
Can you explain to the members of the jury what that DVR had? Like, in order for you to download it?
To export?
Yeah.
So normally with that system, you would go to their main menu and you would either look for the backup or the export option of the system. So the route that we were going to take that day was USB, which would be the native export.
Did it have a USB port that you could plug in to download?
Yes.
Were you able to download it on scene?
No.
Why not?
For whatever reason, when I went, the dates were available and the system actually went back to April. However, when I went to go back to the times to actually export the times, for whatever reason, the times were not available.
Okay, but the date was.
Date was.
Was there any evidence of any kind of tampering anyway with that system when you were viewing it?
No, because for me to say that there was tampering, I would have to say that the entire hard drive was completely wiped out or formatted.
Can you explain that to the members of the jury? What do
So-
you mean by that?
With DVR systems, you can't go back and delete just one incident or one day or 1 hour, 2 hours. When you format a hard drive within the DVR, it completely wipes out the entire hard drive, meaning everything will just disappear. And in that case, the date was available, everything went back to April, which means that nothing happened. There was no way it was formatted.
Now, before we move on, were there specific days or times of interest that you were attempted to cover?
Yes, if I could look back on my
Please.
report though. So they wanted June 25th, 2022, 3 a.m. to 4 a.m.
Now, were you able to confirm at the time before you were trying to retrieve that video that the DVR itself was in working order?
The DVR was working.
Now, when you said that you weren't unable to download it via a USB, what, if anything, did you do next?
Once I wasn't able to export, I let the detectives on scene know. And at that point, I believe they received consent from the owner to take the DVR for further examination.
Did you take possession of that DVR?
I did.
And where'd you go with it?
Once I get the DVR, I take it back to the office.
And what did you do at the office with that DVR?
At the office, I plug it into DVR Examiner, and at that point, I attempted to conduct DVR Examiner on it, and for whatever reason, the actual hard drive was not scanning. It wasn't even allowing me to get to the point where I could export or even request to export.
Can you explain a little bit more what that means?
So I would plug it in to DVR Examiner. I would scan the DVR to actually pick up the hard drive, but it wasn't picking up the hard drive at all.
Was there any evidence of any kind of tampering when you were doing that?
No.
Why not?
Because I couldn't even get to the hard drive.
So the fact that you couldn't get to the hard drive was evidence itself that there was no tampering?
To me, evidence enough that the actual hard drive was damaged or somehow corrupt because I was never even able to enter into it. I was never even able to get into it enough to do anything.
What after that, did you inform anybody that their video was unable to be recovered?
Yes, detectives, Detective Ganoris.
Chinoris.
Sir, yes.
And what, if anything, did you do with the DVR after that?
Once I let them know what was going on, I just let them know the DVR is ready to be picked up. I documented everything and that was it.
When DVRs are in this manner returned, either because they cannot download those videos or things like that, is it a likely outcome, possible outcome that everything gets wiped from those DVRs?
So normally when we return the DVRs, we never plug them back in. And the reason for that is because if you plug it back in and there is, for whatever reason, data on there or anything like that, that they will need later down the line, if you plug it back in, it normally resets the hard drive altogether. So a lot of times we don't do that because just in case the detective says, hey, we need more time, or we need to pull extra time, we just got more information. So we don't plug it in for that reason.
Did you purposely delete any video in this case?
No,
Is there any evidence that anyone purposely deleted any kind of video?
No.
in this case?
no.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So ma'am, I just wanted to clarify, because you said a few moments ago that you were asked about tampering. And I believe you said tampering would show that the entire hard drive was wiped. Am I quoting you correctly?
If you're asking if certain times were deleted from the hard drive,
Right.
you can't delete just 1 hour, 2 hours, or 1 day. When you format a hard drive, it'll format the entire thing, which means I will not be able to go back to April 29, 2022, which was the earliest recording on this DVR.
So just so I understand you, so you're saying if somebody were to tamper with a DVR hard drive such as this one, that would result in everything being deleted?
Yes,
Okay.
because it's a hard drive within the DVR and it's not NVR or any other, there's no other method to actually extract or delete any video.
All right. As far as you know, when you took the hard drive into possession, the footage on it, it had footage on it, correct?
There was footage, but not the footage that the detectives were looking for. So the time frame that they were looking for was not there.
Okay. So I want to pinpoint exactly when it was that you took possession of this item.
When I took the DVR,
Yes.
so I was there at 9:21 a.m. So somewhere around that time
This is
on
on
the 29th, June 29th.
June 29th. You arrived at the home
Correct.
of the owner of the home who had the DVR.
Yes.
Who else was there when you arrived?
Detective Ganores and Detective Morales.
And you said that you didn't make contact with the owner of the home, correct?
I don't make contact with the owners.
So you only interacted with those detectives.
Correct.
And it was the detectives and not the owner of the home who gave you the DVR, correct?
No, the DVR was on scene.
Okay, so you watched some videos on the scene?
No, I don't watch videos. I only export the videos that they're requesting.
Did you unplug anything?
I unplugged the DVR once I noticed that it was no longer an option to export on scene. And they advised that they gave consent and that they want to take it to the office.
Without telling me the contents or what it is that you saw, if anything, did you see anything, any footage from that DVR before unplugging?
No,
So how is it that you know that, well, you said, so you weren't talking about what's on the DVR, you just tried to download it on scene and you were not able to do that,
correct,
and that's when you took it with you,
correct.
correct? So is it fair to say that you yourself weren't able to verify what videos were or were not on the DVR at that moment? Because you didn't see anything?
I didn't view any video. Yep.
Okay, so you can't say what videos were or were not on the DVR at that moment?
No.
All right, thank you. You get back to the station. And at the station, you find what, that there are no videos on the DVR?
No, when I got back to the station and I plugged it into DVR Examiner, it will not scan the hard drive. So I was never able to pick up the hard drive to get to the export.
You couldn't get into the hard drive?
No,
Were any attempts made to, rather than get into the hard drive, to at least view what was on the hard drive through another screen or another monitor?
no,
Why not?
because I went through the export option to try to get the times that they wanted, and it said no record, no data, so the times are not there.
So from your perspective, when you checked Are you saying that there was no video for you to watch, even if you could watch the video?
I wouldn't go back to watch the video. I only export.
I understand, but your goal is to download these videos to be watched so that you can watch them at a later time, correct?
No.
What do you mean?
I don't watch the videos. I only export the video and then I provide it as evidence to the detective.
Let me
So
rephrase. Your goal is to get this video so that somebody, like a jury, can watch this video at a later time, right?
for me, it's for the detectives. I don't do anything as far as the case goes. I get the video, whatever it is that they ask for, camera, dates, times. I get that video, I put it onto a USB, and then I would put it onto a disk.
Let
Then
me
at that point, that's the
Let me
evidence.
rephrase my question. Let's assume that the detectives asked you to do this because they wanted to have a video, which is evidence, which they could later arrange that video to be played in front of a jury or a judge at a trial,
Okay.
right? Okay? So your purpose was to get that video so that they can use it later, right?
Yes,
You tried to download it for that purpose and you weren't able to because as far as you can tell, the DVR didn't have any data on it, correct?
it had data. It just wasn't exporting the dates and times that they were asking for.
So you couldn't export it. However, you know that the detectives were able to watch some of the video before it was taken from the owner's home, correct?
Normally, when they ask us to come out, it's because they've already reviewed video.
Okay. So we know that it was working and you could see videos on it before it was taken from the owner's home, right?
What was that, sir?
We know that this DVR has footage which the detectives supposedly had already seen, and that's the reason why they're sending you to retrieve it, right?
Yes,
You're not able to retrieve it.
no.
So wouldn't it be effective to plug in that DVR, which you're not able to get anything from, plug it into a monitor to see if you could still play the videos, just like the detectives had done back at the person's home?
It would have been the same thing. I'm just taking it from one monitor to another. What I was able to see on scene is the same thing that I was going to see back at the office.
Right, but you could see it, and then you could record it another way, right? Like a
No.
body worn camera, or with a phone, or just record something so you preserve it as evidence, right?
There was no evidence. I was not able to export the dates and times that they were asking.
And I think we're not understanding each other. I understand that you couldn't download it, but my question is, your job is to retrieve this so that it could be watched later. We've established that, right? So you can't download it. So as an alternative to accomplish your task, my question to you is, isn't it true that you could have found the monitor, plugged in the DVR, play the video that you're looking for, and record it with another device, such as the body-worn camera that you're wearing, take out a phone, record it in any other way, and that way we have a recording of the evidence this evidence which pertains to a murder case. Isn't that a solution to the problem?
Are you asking about playback? Like
Yes.
to actually play the video?
Yes, ma'am.
My job is not to play back the video. My job was to respond and export the video.
Okay.
He's asking, did you have the option of playing this?
The playback option is there. But my reason for responding was to export the video. And when I went to export and it will not be exported, at that point, we took the DVR back to the office.
All right, so all those other options that I just explained to you, none of that was done, correct?
No.
And at some point, the DVR was returned to the owner, correct?
Yes,
And if the owner, when he got the DVR back, found that everything had been erased, can you explain how something like that could happen?
if I run DVR Examiner, like I said, I don't plug the hard drives back in for that reason, because it usually resets the hard drive or wipes it out completely. So
So
once
you wouldn't have wiped it out completely.
No, no.
So if we have a DVR that was in this home, and this DVR had about a month's worth of footage on it, then it's taken from the home. and then sometime later, it's returned to the home. And now, when it's at the home, it's working fine, but all that month-long footage is gone. How do you explain that? How does something like that happen?
I can only tell you that I unplug the DVR, plug it into DVR Examiner, and normally when we plug it back in, which is the reason why we don't do it, we don't plug the DVRs back in when we return them in case detectives need more data later. Normally, when you plug it back in, it formats and resets the hard drive.
So is it fair to say that as you sit here, you are not able to tell us how it was that a month's worth of footage was lost while it was in police custody? You're not able to tell us how that happened?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Detective, just to clarify, when you plug in the DVR to DVR Examiner, you do not plug it in again, right?
No.
And that's because why?
We don't want to plug it back in case the detectives need more data later on. If we plug it back in, it formats and resets the hard drive.
And so the hard drive then would be blank
Correct,
because it's been reset.
correct.
So when a homeowner gets a blank DVR, or excuse me, a DVR back and plugs it back in, it would reset,
It will cause the reset or the format of the hard drive.
which would delete everything.
Yes.
Great. I have no further questions, Your Honor. Go sidebar.